Hello there everybody, here we are again, Sunday evening. Apologies for not being this afternoon, but I was teaching elsewhere and yeah, it's been a bit of a busy one, a bit of a crazy weekend, but we've loved it. It's been really hot, but we've kept our cool and we've got some really nice projects done. But for now, I'm going to go through just one of the flowers, I think, this evening, because our dogs need feeding and we need feeding, so we're going to have yeah, a little bit of a shorter video, but that's okay because you've got lots of other things to do and we could be catching up. So here we go, Sanntangle Flower Quilt, what we're going to be doing. So you can see that I've already ticked off the top row and actually these ones here, so I thought I'm going to do this one here, see where this works out, and then go from there, shall we? So we've got two things going on here this evening. We've got the flowers at the top and then we've got the funny leaves as well. Now, because I'm doing it on fabric, I'm not going to colour it in like that. I might just sort of leave it at that one, but you've got the choice. You can do it if you like. So here we are. Let's make a start. I've got my quilting blocks here. Now you can see I've got them all. They're all separate bits and pieces. I don't really mind. I've got these bits underneath and it just means that I've got something to lean on. And then of course I've also got my blocks. Oh, I've got my all over the place. There you go, because I took them with me today. See, I've got my blocks already ready made, because for every one that you do I'm doing two, so I'm getting a double the size quilt when I eventually put it together. So here we go then, let's make a start. Let's just neaten the place up a bit, shall we? There we go. All right, so starting on my little square, let's just put a couple underneath, because again, look, I'm all, just because I've not been home all weekend, it's just everything's messy. You know what you like? You want to come in and clean up a little bit. There we go. That's better. Okay, so first things first then, we're looking at these. It starts in the corner. We can do this, or you can do it in the middle, whatever you want to do. I think I'm going to start in the corner, just like this one. So let's turn it to an angle. And let's put the flower in first, and sometimes it's nice to do this because you get to sort of grips with what's going on. Okay, so it's sort of in the middle. I'm not going to go too small with this. Let's go a bit bigger. All right, here we go. And then on the top of it, we're going to have this sort of leafy kind of shape. It's all leafy kind of petals. And then I'm going to do one on the side. And notice I'm coming from the bottom, working my way up each time. From the bottom, working my way up. Okay, there we go. So then we've got an extra one on each side. Not as big, but you see it's sort of taking in that line that we've drawn there. It sort of sorts that bit out. And then in between each one of these shapes here, I'm going to come on in and add another petal that's going behind, like that. Alright, so we're then going to turn to this side a little bit, because this line here, I'm going to extend it, bring it round and create a little loop. Okay, let's go in a little bit bigger now, you've got the idea. Right. So just underneath that, I'm going to do a second loop, but this time it's a little bit smaller, and then a little bit smaller. Now it doesn't matter how many of these you create, it just sort of, whatever many you think it does to create that kind of a shape there. Okay, so if I move back out a bit now, there it is. So I'm going to bring in a stem. It's not going to go right to the corner actually. It sort of feels like it wants to go down here. So let's do that. And remember, I've got to think my 1/4 of an inch seam allowance there if you're drawing this on fabric. So you don't want to go too far, because you want to see the whole image and not have it sort of stuck in the seam allowance. I'm going to join that together there. So far so good. So let's put another one in. I'm going to go up here. So there's my line again. I'm doing a loop, or a little leaf shape, or a petal shape. Okay. and one either side. Come in there. Come in there. Okay. And then along here. So again, I'm sort of working to that line, like so. Turn it to its side and extend that shape. So I've got a little bit of a lozenge shape. And then work my way down so they get smaller and smaller. And of course, you don't have to do this on fabric. You can do it on paper if you want to. That's absolutely fine. And the stem, let it go where it wants to go. It's definitely going underneath there. And this one, working it round and around to there. So I've got two. Now in the picture, let's have a look at the sort of the sample there. I've got three going on. See, that one's sort of level, but it's just a little bit of an idea to get you going. I'm going to bring one in here. So it's going to be sort of more this side, but again, don't forget you've got seam allowance. So if you need to draw it in, you can use a Frixion pen. Again, Frixion pen, there you go. This one, they'll iron off, but again, always test it first. So you can draw it just like you would with a pen or a pencil. Then when you get any heat near it, iron it, that kind of thing, it will actually disappear. So that works almost like a pencil and a rubber, doesn't it? But this one, the black one I'm using, it's not going to go anywhere. So once I've drawn this, it stays. So any mistakes, they're not going to be mistakes. They're going to be turned into something else. Okay, so there's my third one. And then again, oh, do you know, I didn't put my little ones in there, did I? I got all carried away drawing this little bit here. I completely forgot. But that's okay. I can go back and do it. There it is. A little bit like beehives, aren't they? You know? So let's put those in. It gives it a little bit of a fuller flower. Same on this one. There we go. And you know what? I've been in for a good half an hour. And I'm sure my husband earlier said, would you like a drink? And I said, yes, please. It's over there. I don't know. He sat there with his own. Thank you, my love. There you go. You can't get the staff, can you?
Yeah.
He's just laughed at me. Okay. There we go. So we can extend this a little bit, and we can put some little sort of flicks in there. Gives it a little bit of a feel that there's shape in there. There we go. And let's just put another one in there. Okay. So this one, when we colour these in, I'm not going to colour this today, but I'm colouring it a little bit more precise than I did with the original blanket or quilt. The original one, it was sort of very vintage looking. This one's going to be a little bit more precise in terms of, because of the fabric. Okay, let's put a little leaf in. So I'm going to come up and do a curl. Okay, and then up. That's not me having a drink, by the way. That's Benji. Yes. Oh, goodness me. You couldn't plan this, could you? You really couldn't. So I'm going to follow the curve that I've just done, all that little curl. And come up and out. Same heel, up. Out. Alright. I quite like that pointy on there. And then how do we do this in the middle? I'm going to put a really thin leafy kind of shape in there. And then either side, we can get a smaller one. See? So actually, I will fill it in. Now when you're filling in on fabric, you don't want to use a massive amount of ink there. You don't want it to actually bleed, because of course the more ink you put on it, the more chance. So just sort of stroke it over the top. There you go. It's nice, isn't it? So let's have another look a little bit further out and see what's going on. I've got that one. I'm going to bring another one. See, let's go. I'm going to go over there and curl it round there. And again over there and curl it round there. Alright, so as before, up and around to create that shape. And up and around to create that shape. And then that little petal or leaf shape in the middle there. One either side. You could have another one in there if you wanted to. Or you can leave it at 3. It does make a difference, doesn't it, when it's coloured in. If you're not sure with the pen, you can go in and colour it with pencils. That's absolutely fine. Alright. Let me get with that. There we go. So that's kind of nice, and it's going to sort of sit more to one edge, so I'm happy with that. Do I want to put more leaves in? I don't think I do, but it needs something a bit more, doesn't it? And this is where your creativity can come in a little bit, because you think, right, what am I going to do? And something we've done a little bit of today, we've come around stems just to give it a little bit more interest. See, little curl on the bottom. And we can have some little loops and bobbles coming off there. Let's have that one going up there. Maybe a couple there. And of course, if you're not sure about this and you think, oh, I don't even know if I want to put one on there, that's fine. You can do it with your Frixion pen first. And if you think, oh, I don't want to do it, it irons away. And if you think, I quite like that, I'm going to keep it, then of course you can keep it. Okay, I'm going to put some just coming off there, really. So I'm going in there. Maybe one. Is it coming up and extending itself out a little bit? Like so. And just to sort of fill it in there, we want to have a couple more going that way. So let's have a little look at that. So that gives it a little bit more interest, doesn't it? So let's come back to the original. Here it is. So you've got the flower, and you've got your little leaf. See, there is an extra couple there, but I only put the 3 in. And that's how it could look. You've got that bit of space. But let's look at an alternative version. As I say, I'm actually working on doing 2 for everyone, because then I get a double-sized quilt going off there. So what I'm going to do here is bring in my actual block, which we'll go through how to do these later on. You don't need to do them now. It's just so I can determine I've got all of them on the go. So there's the one we've just done. So we're going to use this flower to create something a little bit different. So where are we going to head with this? I think I'm going to come in with my Frixion pen. I'm going to use my red because you can see it then. Okay, so how's this going to work? Now, instead of doing the flowers in this corner first, I'm going to bring in, let's have a bit of a swirl, I think. Let's do that. See if we like it. See, once I iron this will disappear. So I can come in, look, and I can make amendments and things if I want to. Take it slightly more round and things like that. Okay. And then flowers. So I'm going to do some flowers sort of coming up and around here. So I'm going to have one here. And one here. And then let's put one in there. Let's put those in and see what we think. Okay. So let's go in a bit. And put in that first petal. And then the next. See, each side. You get a nice even feel for it. And that one. And then don't forget, I'm putting my little petals in on the top there. And then in we come with those little shapes. I'm not going to put as many this time. I think I'm going to stick with 3. So it's a slightly bigger sort of base. I'm going to bring that in into there. Okay. Next one. I'll go with this. So same again, putting these petals in either side each time. Sort of trying to keep it in line with that if we can. And putting in these little petals, and again then I'm going to 1, 2 and 3. And let's take that in now. Do I want to go that way? It doesn't feel right going that way because of how it's facing. So you sort of want to go with the direction that the flower's working its way in. Okay. I think what I'm going to do while I'm here, I'm going to thicken up that line there, because I think what I'm going to do is have these going around it. So then I can draw in the bit that I want to keep afterwards. There you go. So I'll work that out in a bit. There you are. Got something thicker, so we can bring that in there. Okay. Let's get them a little bit bigger. To see here, what we could do is that's going over the top there. We can have that going underneath. See? Maybe, yeah, let's go over again. Go to a point and give it a bit of a curl. So when we draw this in, we don't need to do that bit. So this one, let's have that one going over. And it's sort of going under there. Yeah. And then there you can see, like, I can draw in those bits that I know I need. Okay. So let's have a look at this next one. And flower in there again. So centerpiece all the time. We do that first. Then either side. And then first one, the other. See, sort of keeping it quite flat there. Putting in those little petals all around the back. And then along we go. 1, 2. I'm only doing 3 on each one. Let's have a look at that. Let's go in a bit. You see? So I'm going to put one. Let's have a look now. We've got one there. So let's kind of come round here. Let's put that in first, I think. So let's have that one. So he's gone over first. So this one, I'm going to go under. So we've got a little bit of a difference going on there. And again, see where there? That one's gone under. So let's have this one going over. And then there, I can have this coming to a point about there. It doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom. You see it's sort of working its way around. And then again, let's go a bit bigger so you can see this one. I'm going to draw this bit in. So the red would be your pencil. Okay, just going to draw a little bit because I'm working my way up. So we can rub out the reds. It's just the black we're going to keep. So along we go again. Let's put one in here. And then let's have a look. One there. And let's have one there. And see, oh, one there. Let's see how that goes. So working my way around. Petals as before. Now you see here, if that one goes over, that's fine, because the red will disappear, look. So I don't have to worry about that. There you are. Apparently though, if your Frixion pens, I don't know, some of them, they get really, really cold, so if they're like in the basement of an airplane or something and they're really cold, the Frixion pen could come back. But as long as you're not going to be taking it to Alaska, I think we'll be fine. It's always worth checking, isn't it? If you're not sure. But honestly, I've never had an issue with a Frixion pen coming back on or anything like that. So I'm quite comfortable with this. Certainly the brand I just showed you anyway. Let me just show you that again. There we go. Alright, that's the one I tend to use. And they do them in a pack of 3. You've got a red, a black and a blue. So you can depending on what fabric you're using. Okay, so again, look, you see I'm turning it round each time, so these flowers are facing the way I want them to face, and you're following that swirl round. And again, if you wanted to do this on paper, you could. You don't have to do it on fabric. It'll work on both. And then again, look, little line. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's have a look at how these fit together. So I'll start with this one. And again, it's wanting to sort of come up and into this. So there, look, I've gone under there. So it sort of fits with this one if I take it over. It's always about just looking at what's around you. And then I'm going to go under there, see? And then I'm going to go over where I've still got my red. And then now, because everything now is black, I've got to go under. I can't go over. But that's okay. I'm going to come around, look, and put a swirl there. So, turning it round, let's look at this one. So that went over, so I'm going to go under with this one. And then around here, over there, over there. And then I'm going to finish this. So it's gone over, look. I'm going to finish this underneath there. So I'm not taking them all to the bottom. Last one. So again, I'm going to go over the top of this one, under there. Let's see where that leads us. Okay, around there. And then it's going to go over the top there, and I'm going to bring it down and curl it there. Okay, so we've got a little bit more interest in that lot. So at this point, I'm going to draw in any of the curl now that I'm going to keep, which is those bits, all the way around. Along there. Now here I'm going to thin it off a little bit. I want to, amend the shape just a little bit. Now here I've got to decide which line, look. So it's going to be there. Let's do that one first. Okay. Around we go. And then this one, let's bring it down. So again, once I find it, that red will disappear, so that's fine. So we've got a bit like a swirl. So leaves wise, I think let's have a couple here. It sort of wants to have a little bit of a shape there. Curl and curl. And then I'm going to come around and up, round and up. And then in goes that shape in the middle, on either side, and fill it with ink, like that. So I'm going to bring another one out, sort of around here, and there. Now they're going to sort of go underneath each other, but that's absolutely fine. And again, look, up there, this one, and fill it in. There we go. And of course you can do that in pencil if you want, but you don't have to fill it in. I quite like it actually. I think it's giving it just that little bit of extra depth that it needs. So you can go ahead now and you can choose how many of these sort of leaves that you put in. It's entirely up to you. It's whatever you feel you need on this particular piece. Remember, taking a little bit of time over it, it's going to be something that you're going to keep. It's going to last. It's quite nice there, isn't it? Let's bring one in up here. It's not like a piece of paper, this, if you're doing the quilt. It's something that hopefully you're going to be proud of. So you're going to look at this and you're going to have people come round and look at it and look at real close and go, did you really draw that? So, time now to just think about whether you're going to colour it or not, or what you're going to do with it. Doesn't matter, even if you come back and do a little bit, you can add to it. Say up there. Go. And then along, back in with these shapes. And fill in again. There we go. Let's just extend that there. Okay. And then of course I think it needs here. So again, you know, you're going to look at yours and you're going to sort of see where you think you should have a leaf or where it's going to benefit you. You don't want to go seriously too close up to the edge there. You want to leave some space. Certainly if you've not put your blocks together yet. I've put half of them together to show you how you could do it. And then when we've got them all drawn up, I'll show you how to put the other ones together. So all the blocks will be done then. Have a look at that. Okay, do I want one here? So you've got 3 going on. I think I'm going to bring one here too. So, curls in. Oh. So this one's going to sort of sit almost behind that flower there. It's quite small. And it's nice to put that bit of detail in, isn't it? It's not really taken long. This took us half an hour to do 2 of these drawings. So again, you see with this one, I've got these little curly shapes in. I'm going to do the same sort of thing here because it's nice to have that little bit of consistency. And of course, because they're solid, we can go over or we can go under. It doesn't matter where we put these. And then I'm coming off here, look. And then here, let's go up and out there. You see? And then working my way around, just have a couple sort of here. And then I'm going to have some this side as well. Let's have that one going underneath. Let's have a look at that. It's built up really quickly, hasn't it? It's not too long at all. But again, we're still in theme with the same flower. So let's put some flicks in so it matches the other. But we've completely changed it up by putting that curl in and having something to work around. So if you're not sure, you could even use your initial, a letter, and you could actually put these around like a letter A or a B or whatever you wanted to do. You could put them around a circle, so you've got a little bit of a wreath design maybe, or have a square frame, all sorts of things you can do with it. But that gives you a pointer, an idea, and I say this red will disappear when I iron it. So that's one of them. If I bring the other one in, here we go. So same theme, we've got these lovely sort of black bits within the leaves, the shapes, and we've got this lovely little bit going on here, but completely different. So when you're looking at the quilt when they're done, you're going to have a little bit of interest because you're going to spot this one, you're going to see this one, and then it's actually going to dawn on you that, you know what, they're the same flower, but done a different way. So I'm just going to put the lid on my pens there and bring my little instructions in here. And this one, again, like the others, I'm going to tick it off to say that one's done and sorted. So that gives us 8 all done. So yeah, we're getting there, aren't we? We've done 8, we've got 20 to do. So if next week we do Sunday at 3 o'clock as we usually have, and I'll pick 2 off of this line and we'll do another 2 next week, and then we'll just keep going that way. So it won't take long, and of course we don't need to rush it. It's one of these things that we should be enjoying and just sort of going with the flow. So quite a few done, nice to do. I think I've actually done 16 now, so if you're sort of doing the smaller version, you'll have done 8. So a little bit of colour on there, a little bit of an ironing, and then job done. So all right, I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to see you next Sunday at Sanntangle at 3 o'clock as per usual. And other than that, I'll be back on Sanntangle, or I'm actually my Facebook page doing tiles, which I'm going to be doing one on Wednesday and one on Friday next week. So if you're out and about, that'd be great. I'm also on Hobby Maker on Tuesday afternoon, so if you're up for it and you fancy watching, I'll be there too. So other than that, have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you all next week. All right, everybody, take care. See you soon. Bye.